Representative Haley Stevens of Michigan decided to go to the floor of the House and speak on the coronavirus package while wearing gloves and going crazy. It does not give you a lot of faith in our democratic institutions when they are staffed by such people as Haley Stevens. Here's Representative Haley Stevens being a crazy person on the floor of the House.
I request 30 more seconds because I rise before you adorning these.
The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Not for personal tension, but to encourage you to take
gentleman,
this to
Stevens,
every American
I'm going to give you more time.
Right now, to the families.
The gentlelady will suspend. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized. The gentlelady is out of order.
I yield the gentlelady 30 additional seconds.
The gentlewoman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
Cause of their servitude, sharing in the profession with those who have not come before you. Similar times of trying medical need, wars and flus past. You will see darkness. You will be pushed, and our society needs you.
What is going on? Whoa. Okay, so that was actually the second craziest thing that happened on the floor of the House today. That was pretty crazy, though. That was pretty wild. The craziest is reserved for the illustrious AOC. Brilliant, so fresh, so face and fresh and face. A person who told us that we were racist for not eating at Chinese restaurants like a week and a half ago. So AOC gets up on the floor of the House and starts yelling and screaming and waving her arms crazily about. I mean, truly, it's wild. She looks like one of those, blow up balloon things over at the car dealership. I mean, really, that's what she looks like in this clip. It's like she's lost all the bones in her arms and she's sort of waving her arms around randomly. It's pretty spectacular. Here is AOC protesting a bill that was voted for in the Senate by literally every Democrat because everybody understands that time is of the essence. Here was AOC being a crazy person.
Senate majority fight for one of the largest corporate bailouts with as few strings as possible in American history. Shameful. The greed of that fight is wrong for crumbs, for our families. And the option that we have is to either let them suffer with nothing or to allow this greed and billions of dollars, which will be leveraged into trillions of dollars, to contribute to the largest income inequality gap in our future. There should be shame about what was fought for in this bill and the choices that we have to make.
If you mute that, it looks like she's dancing. Right? If you mute it, it looks like she's dancing, right? She's doing the AOC. Yeah, doing the AOC. What the hell is she talking about? It's bailouts to corporate. They literally shut down every industry in America. That's not a bailout. That's the government, as I've said 1,000 times, driving a truck, a Ford F-150 through the front wall of your house. And then when they say, oh yeah, we probably should pay to fix up the walls, like, how dare you consider bailouts, sir? But she's a crazy person. This is who you chose. You chose this person as your leadership, Democrats. You decided that AOC was going to dictate the future of your party. According to Tom Perez, she's the future of your party. This crazy person who doesn't know whether she's dancing or giving a speech in Congress about the single biggest spending bill in the history of the United States. By the way, who do you think is more pro-bailout, AOC or me? Okay, significantly AOC. She wants to bail out every useless green industry she can possibly find. She wants money for people who are unwilling to work. And here she is protesting the spending because it has a corporation. Corporations, they're evil. Evil. By the way, I'm just wondering what Nancy Pelosi is going to do with AOC now. Because Nancy Pelosi has also been saying that she wants to spend more money. Right? We're just going to spend endlessly here. We're not going to try and fix the problems. We're not going to try and just get us through this period. Instead, Nancy Pelosi says we have to spend more money. Here's Nancy Pelosi yesterday saying we need a second round. Guys, we're spending $6 trillion with a T. $1 trillion. Here's Nancy Pelosi saying that's not enough.
We had bigger direct payments in our bill. I don't think we've seen the end of direct payments. This is an emergency, a challenge to the conscience as well as the budget of our country. And every dollar that we spend is an investment in the lives and the livelihood of the American people. We can go bigger, especially now the interest rates are even lower than at the time of the tax scam.
Okay, so we need more spending, lots of spending, endless spending, quantitative easing forever, Federal Reserve buying up everything. We need all of that stuff forever. Okay, this is the same Nancy Pelosi, by the way. She's now declaring the bill insufficient. The Democrats negotiated this bill. Pelosi then claims that she had greatly made the bill better, which she, of course, is not. By the way, this thing should have been passed on Sunday, right? We've gone a full week without passage of this bill that was already pre-negotiated last Saturday. It's now Friday. Okay, here is Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, saying that Nancy Pelosi is lying about a bill that was negotiated by her fellow Democrats.
A few minutes ago, the Speaker stood at this podium and claimed that House Democrats did what she called a jiu-jitsu to change the bill. That is an outright lie. The fundamental portions of this bill has not changed since Sunday. 4 months for unemployment was already decided on Sunday. The grant to keep employees hired on small business was already decided on Sunday. The only few additions were funding of things that had nothing to do with the coronavirus. Was that worth holding it up?
Okay, by the way, the bill did pass by unanimous consent, despite all of the hysterics on the floor today. I mean, this is pretty not shocking. I mean, it was going to get done, but the fact that everybody made a big deal out of it is pretty incredible. So we spent a week for no reason, thanks to Nancy Pelosi's hysterics, and because she listens to idiots like AOC and lets them dictate the nature of business in the House. What a disaster Nancy Pelosi has been. So, what exactly is in this bill with regard to unemployment insurance? According to the Wall Street Journal, Americans generally are eligible for benefits if they're laid off from their jobs. Several states have already adjusted eligibility requirements because of coronavirus. So states expanded eligibility to include workers who don't have access to paid leave or who may not meet any requirement of being available to work, like people who are quarantined. The stimulus bill expands eligibility to include people who are not typically eligible for benefits. That includes self-employed people, people seeking part-time employment, and independent contractors as well. People who are diagnosed with coronavirus, have a household member with coronavirus who are unable to go to work, would be eligible. So would individuals who had quit their jobs or are laid off because of coronavirus. You're not eligible if you're currently receiving paid sick leave or other paid leave benefits. The way to apply, you can apply for unemployment insurance based on your state's website or over the phone. People are asking that people do the states are asking you do this online because of the overwhelm. Unemployment benefits do vary by state. The new stimulus bill would increase unemployment assistance in every state by $600 a week for up to 4 months. Now, this is an area of contention because, of course, if this thing lasts 3 months and you're being paid more to stay out of work than to be in work, that is a problem. In New York State, the state's maximum weekly benefit check is about $500. That would increase to $1,100 a week if the new legislation passes, which it did, of course, today. Extended use of unemployment benefits would put a lot more money in people's pockets than the stimulus bill's one-time checks of up to $1,200. So because this now extends to people who have quit, you should expect to see the unemployment rolls really swell and surge. It's one of the reasons why the phase-out of unemployment is going to be really important on the other end. It's why there were several senators who were very much concerned about the unemployment provisions and how long they last and the extent of them, right? You saw Bernie Sanders protesting that. Why can't we just pay people? Just give people lots of... Because on the other end of this, we want people to rejoin the workforce. We don't actually want to incentivize people not to be in the workforce. Now, many unemployment insurance offices are seeing unprecedented volume. That is delaying the process. Several states have waived a routine 1-week waiting period. So that means that it could be 2 to 3 weeks for people to actually receive their unemployment check. So if you were laid off on March 23rd, you might at the earliest receive your first unemployment check on April 10th under both current and former rules. That is one of the problems with that lengthened period because, again, if your first check is April 10th, let's say this thing ends June 10th. That's only 2 months past your first check, right? And those are the earliest checks that are going to go out. One of the reasons why, theoretically, you're not supposed to do policy with a hammer rather than with a scalpel. But we have done it with a hammer, and we're going to do the hammer because it is vital at this point to get people the help they need, even if that means overspending on the other end. So this is why, you hear people like Massey who are upset, or you see people who are upset about like AOC who are upset. And the answer is no one likes this bill, right? No, people on the left don't like this bill. People on the right don't like this bill. Something has to happen here or the entire economy is going to collapse because we've seen 3 million unemployed people added to the rolls this week alone. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Ben Shapiro Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our future content.